In the previous verse, Shankaracharya has said that understanding your true reality, attain supreme peace and be quiet. Now he says, Tushnim avastha parama upashantihi buddhehe asat kalpa vikalpa hetoho brahmatmano brahmavido mahatmanah yatra advaya ananda sukham nirantaram. A person who has realized Brahman, Brahmavida, and a person who is a great person, Mahatma, that person, what he gets, Asat Kalpa Vikalpa Hetoho, the cause of Asat Vikalpa, all the unreal fancies, imaginations. That person gets rid of that. What is that? That is Buddhehe, mind, which is the cause of all unreal fancies, and becomes tushnim, becomes quiet. Because there is nothing now. No thought. We are all restless because of thoughts which come because of desires, etc. etc. So when all that is quietened, then there is no thought. And tushnim avastha parama upashantihi. So that person becomes quiet and attains the state of quietude, shanti, and gets identified with Brahman, Brahmatmano, and Yatra Advaya Ananda Sukham Nirantaram, and is in a Nirantara, constant bliss of absolute Brahman, without any second. This bliss is not like the joy one gets by experiencing sense objects. So this bliss is beyond mind and beyond body, beyond thoughts, etc. Nasti nirvasanat maunat param sukha kriduttamam. Nasti nirvasanat maunat param sukha kriduttamam. Vignata atma swarupasya swananda rasapainaha. So a person who is rasapainaha, that means he is drinking the rasa, essence of what? Vignata atma swarupasya. Having known one's own nature, true nature, that person is drinking the essence of the bliss of the self. And nasti nirvasanat maunat param sukhakrit uttamam. So there is nothing better than this quietness, this nirvasana, desirelessness, which will create more sukha or bliss. There is nothing which can give more bliss than desirelessness. So our problem is we are running after desires. We are running after desires, and we think fulfilling desires will give us happiness. But getting rid of desires will give us happiness, not fulfilling desires. So we have to get rid of desires. Gachan tishtan upavishan shayano va anyatha apiva yathechaya vased vidvan atma ramah sada munihi. So a person who has no desires, that person can be yathechaya, live in any way that person likes. But anyway means not in that sense we think that if I have all power, I will do whatever. I will steal, I will kill other people, then I will do all these kinds of things. No, because a person who has realized self has no more connection with desires, no more connection with body and mind. But that person sits, lives, tishtan, and goes, stops, shayano, lies, etc., upavishan, sits, all this that person does, or any other thing that person does, but that person is always atma ramah, always seeking pleasure or happy or blissful in one's own self. Na desha kala asana dig yamadi lakshyadi apeksha apratibhaddha vrittehe samsiddha tattvasya mahatmanosti swavedane ka niyamadi avastha. So a person who has samsiddha tattva, who has realized the truth, ultimate truth, mahatmanah, great soul, for that person, there is na desha kala asana dig yamadi. There is no obstacle. There is no obstacle of what? Of desha kala, of place. Place. Then kala, time, asana, posture, dig, direction, yamadi, disciplines. Like you have to do this, etc. Moral disciplines. Then lakshyadi, you have to meditate on this, etc. And apratibaddha vrittehe. So pratibaddha, obstacles, this person does not have any obstacles. Sri Ramakrishna's life we see, he got the vision of Kali. Then he is practicing all other things. Why? Because he has already realized God. He has already realized the truth in one discipline. So now he is practicing all other things. So he does not bother about the conventions, social conventions. He does not bother. He is always in the thought of goddess Kali. So he does not bother about social convention. He need not bother about social convention. How he is sitting, when he is worshipping, which direction you have to. Usually you have this, you have to face this direction, etc. So in Guru Nanak's life we see this incident where Guru Nanak was lying down and somebody said that you cannot face, or your feet is towards Kaaba, Makkah. So you should not do that. So he said, okay, turn my feet to some other direction. So this person turned the feet, and wherever he turned the feet, there he saw, that side he saw Makkah. So that means these people, they are beyond these regulations of direction, etc. And what kind of posture, what kind of time. Sri Ramakrishna we see, in every time there is no time for him which is only for prayer. All times he is praying and meditating. So, and also what kind of moral disciplines, this you have to do, this you have to do. All those things are not binding Sri Ramakrishna. So this is applicable to only a person who has realized truth, not other people. Someone reading this, they may think, I have also realized the truth. You have not. A person who has realized God, only that person can follow. Means this shloka is applicable only to that person. And why? Because swavedane ka niyamadi avastha. A person who has swavedane, after knowing one's own self, after knowing one's own Atman, what can be there? Niyamadi avastha. What regulations can be there on that for that person? This is the question. So that person has no regulations. That person can, you see, Sri Ramakrishna realized Kali, then while he was practicing Advaita Vedanta, he cut that form of Kali which was obstructing him to get Nirvikalpa Samadhi by a sword of knowledge. So, nothing stops those people who have realized God. Ghatoyam iti vignatum niyamah ko anva vekshyate vina pramana sushtutvam yasmin sati padartadihi. So here one example is given, that if there is a jar kept, to know that jar, what conditions do you need? Ghatah ayam ghatah iti vignatum. To know that this is a jar, ko niyamah. What is the condition you need? No condition. Pramana sushtutvam vina. Apart from a defectless, faultless means of knowledge. So if you have eyes which can see properly, if you have proper lighting, etc., and you can see the jar, you don't need anything else. To understand that there is a jar, to say that there is a jar. Okay, yasmin sati padartadihi. Padartadihi means you can see an object. The knowledge of an object comes from a proper means of knowledge. So if you have that proper means of knowledge, you don't need anything else to see that there is a jar. So the proper means of knowledge, your eyes are working properly and there is lighting and the jar is not obstructed by anything. Only by these you can see the jar. Similarly, what more does a person need to know that there is Atman? So the person has to have only purified mind, means mind without desires, and instruction by a teacher, and thinking, that's all. So all of you have that.
No, mind without desire.
You don't have. Why?
We have so many desires for that.
Why?
To know the Brahman is also another desire, no?
This is called Vitanda. Yesterday I was telling Vitanda. Yesterday I told, or day before.
No, that is also a desire. Like
So do you have only that desire?
that is also a desire.
No. Do you have only that desire?
No, other desires are there.
Forget about that. This is not a, what you call, polemical thing. This is an existential thing. Means we are not simply trying to analyze text. We are trying to get rid of suffering. So, if you have only the desire to realize Brahman, then okay.
No need. You need not have even that. Exit all desires, automatically it will come.
So, all desires have you exited?
No, that's the problem.
So, now when you know that you have so many desires, then why don't you give up those desires?
You're trying.
Difficult for us.
What
It
is
has
it
come
like?
from so many lives now.
So, no.
Vasanas.
Are you aware of your previous lives?
No, it has come. It is told. It has
It
come
is
from
told.
previous lives.
So it is told that you are Brahman. That is also being told.
Yes, only you say.
Hearsay. So you see, I am holding this book. Now, if you say give this book up, so I say I am trying. What is there to try? Give this book up like this. What is there to try? Just give up desires. That is why Duryodhana says, Janami dharmam nachame pravrittim, janami adharmam nachame nivrittim. I know what is dharma, what is righteousness, but I am not able to do it. And I know what is adharma, unrighteousness, but I am not able to give it up. So the question is this: to see an object, all you need is proper means of knowledge. And if you have that, why bother about all those things? So what you need, most of you, all of you have been initiated. All you need is japa. So give up everything and do japa. Simple.
They are doing japa, not giving up. That is the problem.
So the problem is we don't have faith. That is the problem. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna asked Turiyanandaji. What is there in your Vedanta? Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. That is the only thing what is there in your Vedanta. So why are you bothering so much? Ayam Atma Nitya Siddha hai. Pramane Sati Bhasate. Na Desham Napi Va Kalam. Na Shuddhim Vapi Apekshate. So this Atman, it is a Nitya Siddha. It is always present. It Pramane Sati Bhasate. As soon as you get proper means, proper condition. What is the condition? Means of knowledge. Aparokshanubhuti. Aparokshanubhuti means as soon as your mind becomes pure, this automatically bhasate. It will manifest itself, reveal itself. It will reveal itself. What will reveal? The knowledge of Atman will reveal. Because it is always there. Na desham napi va kalam na shuddhim vapi apekshate. It does not depend on what? Desha, place, or kala, time, or purity. You take bath 10 times a day, you may get pneumonia, but not God realization. Will you get God realization by taking 10 times a day, bath a day? 10 times if you take bath, you bathe 10 times a day, will you get God realization? You will not get. So that is the thing, what is told here is that if you are able to purify your mind, then you will not need any kind of external things. A person who is there, say in Greenland, or say person Eskimo is there. Eskimo, if that Eskimo practices these things, will not that Eskimo get God realization? May not know about Atman, may not know anything, but that person also will get the same realization. Just because you are born in India, it is not necessary that you will get. Most probably you will get confused. You will start believing things which you don't know because you have been hearing. So you will say this is there, that is there, etc. So many terms and terminologies. But it will not give you God realization. Is it not? Just imagine if you were not born in India. Swamiji says India is the place of spirituality. Correct? It is true. But if you were not born in India, you would not be confused with these terms. You will not have these terms. Maybe you will not even think of God. That is a more difficult problem. But at least you would not be thinking of so many terms like, oh, prarabdha karma, this karma, that karma. And you are now confused with all those terms. That is why Vivekachudamani itself will say, Vag Vaigari Shabda Jari, Shastra Vyakhyana Kaushala. This is all for Bhuktaye Natu Muktaye. This is all for Bhoga, experience, not for Moksha. Devadatto aham iti etad vijnanam nirapekshakam tadvad brahma vidopyasya brahmaham iti vedanam. You see, you are Subramanyam. So in Sanskrit texts we have a fascination with the name Devadatta. Like in English we say Mr. X. So Devadatta. So Devadatto aham Devadatta hai. So I am Subramanya hai, Manyan, Subramanian. Aham Subramanian hai. This knowledge, do you need to ask somebody? You know this. You know this. Nirapekshakam. It is independent of circumstances. Now whether you are in Mayavati, whether you are in that forest, whether you are in Chennai, whether you are in Rudrapur, wherever you are, you will be Subramanian. You will not become something else. Even Bala Subramanian you will not become. Forget about Radha Krishnan or Venkataraman or something. You will not become anything. You will be Subramanian. Why? Because you know, that is your nature. You know that I am Subramanian. I am Rajesh. This you have got this in your mind. It does not depend on external circumstances. Similarly, Tadvad Brahma Vidopyasya Brahmaham iti Vedanam. Similarly, the knowledge of a person who has realized Brahman or God, Brahmavid. That person, the knowledge that Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahma Asmi, that knowledge is independent of other external circumstances. Now whether that person is living in a slum or living in a palace or living in the forest, wherever, or in a monastery, wherever that person is living, a person who has realized God has this knowledge which is independent of external circumstances. Bhanuneva jagat sarvam bhasate yasya tejasa anatmakam asat tucham kimnu tasya avabhasakam. So, Bhanuneva jagat sarvam bhasate yasya tejasa. Jagat sarvam, this whole world. Yasya bhata sarvamidam, yasya bhata sarvamidam vibhati. What is this? Shvetashvatra Upanishad. That by whose light all these are illumined. Sarvamidam vibhati. So all these are illumined. So similarly, Bhanuneva, just like the sun, Bhanuhu eva jagat sarvam bhasate yasya tejasa, by whose light all this world is illumined, given light. Anatmakam asat tucham. What is that? Anatmakam, which is not Atman, which is asat, unreal, which is unsubstantial, unreal, and tucham, insignificant. So a person, a principle or a thing which is illumining the whole world, even things which are insignificant, unreal, even an ant is being illumined. How can you make that thing be illumined? What can illumine that? Nothing can illumine that, because it is Swayam Jyotihi. It is self-luminous. Self-luminous. So you cannot make it illumined by something else. That is the idea. So that means the knowledge of God or Brahman or the ultimate truth does not depend on something else. Veda Shastra Puranani Bhutani Sakalani Api Yena Arthavanti Tamkin Nu Vignataram Prakashayet. So, Kim Prakashayet, what can illumine that Vignataram, eternal subject? What is that eternal subject? Veda Shastra Puranani Bhutani Sakalani Api, by which Vedas, Puranas, and other scriptures and other living beings are given Arthavanti. They gain meaning. So, what is the meaning in your life? So, you gain meaning by that reality. If that reality was not there, your life will become meaningless. So why do people find their life meaningless? Because they lose the connection with the reality. They lose the connection. So what can illumine that principle which gives meaning to everything in this world? All scriptures, Vedas, Puranas, and also all beings. Now, why would somebody be ethical? If there was no God, if there were no God, why would somebody be ethical? There is no need. So there is a book recently translated from Bengali. In Bengali it is called Sat Katha, Adbhutananda Ji Maharaj's teachings. So that book has been translated, Teachings of Swami Adbhutananda, published from Chennai Mat. So there some non-Indian devotees go to Adbhutananda Ji and say that we don't need to believe in God, but we can just be ethical and we can do service to other people. So Adbhutananda Ji says, but you cannot do it. Unless you believe in a higher principle or God, you will not be able to do service. What is the motive of doing service? Then your motive will become name and fame, that you will get name and fame. If you don't want to be caught in the clutches of name and fame, then you will have to have the motive of having a spiritual life. So you see, people who are in worldly life, they are earning money, they are having positions, etc. And then they have kids, they grow, bring them up, kids grow, etc. All these things happen. If a person is thoughtful, if somebody thinks, we are all thoughtless people, but if somebody thinks, then that person realizes, what am I doing? What will I get because of this? So this type of question came after the Holocaust. What is the Holocaust?
Destruction of the world.
No, Holocaust means when that. Huh? No, Holocaust was when the Holocaust is usually used with reference to Second World War, when Hitler tried to completely wipe off Jews from this world. So that is Holocaust. So he had concentration camps and he caught them and put there, and then he tried to. Concentration camp means not some place where they teach concentration. Concentration camp means where they were having these Jews and they were tortured, and then finally they were taken to gas chambers where they were all asked to take bath in groups. So when they took bath, what they got from the showers was not water, it was gas, and they were all melted. Even bone was melted, everything became liquid, and so it was done for millions of people like that. So once that war was over and these things were over, people came out. So they saw that their relatives have all died, their family has gone, wife has gone, children have gone. So they have come out and they had suppose a doctor. He had a good practice now where doctor, everything is gone. Only knowledge is there, but nothing else is there. So this person comes out and sees nothing. So the life, as though that person has born again. Quite literary. Usually we say When somebody goes to a hospital and after a very serious illness comes out, we say that this person has got a rebirth. But that person has everything in his house. But here nothing, everything has gone. Property has gone, everything, his certificate has gone, everything has gone. So the person is totally from zero. So many people had a crisis, and then so many types of philosophy came, like existentialism and all that, where what to do, what to get, what is the meaning of life, all these questions were thought. So a person wrote a book, very famous, Viktor E. Frankl. He wrote Man's Search for Meaning. You should all read this book, Man's Search for Meaning. So this is that. Arthavantam. Because of this highest truth, all this world becomes meaningful. If that truth is not there, whole thing becomes meaningless. You are in this world, but you see, you are trying to get that meaning in your family, in your children, etc., in your whatever you do. But that is also meaningless. Only we don't understand. Once we understand, we will understand that these things are all meaningless. Only meaning is the highest truth. So, how to find out a meaning in life? Because finally, everyone has to die. So, what is the meaning in life? So, only this Brahman or Atman or true reality, ultimate truth or God is the meaning. Esha Swayam Jyotihi Ananta Shaktihi Atma Aprameyaha Sakalanubhutihi Yameva Vijnaya Vimukta Bandho Jayati Ayam Brahma Viduttamottamaha. So this is Esha, here is the Swayam Jyotihi, Atman, which is self-effulgent, self-luminous, Ananta Shakti of infinite power. Power is infinite. And Atma, this is Atman. And Aprameya, it is beyond any reach of any sensory knowledge, conditioned knowledge. Sakala Anubhuti, it is the experience of all. When do we experience Atman? We all experience Atman. When? Two times we experience Atman. I mean, two means not exact 2 times, in 2 instances. When you are in deep sleep, you experience Atman, and whenever you have joy, say first fraction of a second, that joy is actually a reflection of the bliss of Atman. So you get mango season and you eat a piece of mango. The first thing when you feel joy, not when you have been eating mango for many days, not then. Or when you are really hungry and you get food, the first fraction of a second you will feel one joy. That is because of it's a reflection of the bliss of Atman. So this is how we all feel, we all experience, but we don't know that this is the knowledge of, or this is the bliss of Atman. So then Yameva Vijnaya, but if you realize this completely, what? This knowledge of Atman, Vimukta Bandha, then that person will be free from bondage. Vimukta, free from Bandha, bondage. Jayati Ayam Brahma Viduttam Ottamaha, with Uttamottamaha. So the knower of Brahman, what kind of knower of Brahman? Best among best. Uttamottamaha, best among best. That is incomparable. There is no comparison. Incomparable Brahman, knower of Brahman, lives Jayati Ayam, lives this world gloriously. Because no problem. Gloriously how? No problem. No problem will be there. So that is told in the next verse. Na khidyate, no vishayaihi pramodate, na sajjate, napi virajyate cha. Swasmin sada kridati nandati swayam nirantara ananda rasena triptaha. So a person who has realized God is nirantara ananda rasena triptaha, is tripta, satisfied by the constant nirantara ananda rasa, essence of bliss, constant bliss. That person is always satisfied. Na khidyate, that person is not sad, grieved. Na no vishayaihi pramodate. Also that person does not become happy by sense objects. Vishayaihi pramodate. Na sajjate, does not get attached. Napi virajyate, and does not become averse to it. So is completely indifferent to this world. And swasmin sada kridati nandati swayam. And swasmin sada kridati is always playing with oneself, means playing with the self means what? That person is always happy in oneself. Does not need anything external, not even this body. Does not need even this body, mind to get joy. Nandati swayam, and always is in a happy mode. That person who has realized God. Kshudam deha vyatam tyaktva balah kridati vastuni tathaiva vidwan ramate nirmamo niraham sukhi. See, our problem is ahankara, mamakara. I, mine. So the person who has realized God, kshudam, that person forgets hunger. Deha vyatam, forgets body pain, knee pain, back pain, neck pain, so many pains. So that person forgets all that. Tyaktva balaha kridati vastuni, just like a small child plays with toys. Similarly, this person, that the child plays with toys, forgetting hunger, body pain, etc. So if a child is crying, if you give that child some toy which she or he likes, then the child will keep quiet suddenly. So that like that, tathaiva vidwan ramate. Similarly, a person who has realized God or realized the ultimate truth, ramate, is happy. Nirmamo niraham sukhi, without any idea of I and mine. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.